Welcome. I'm Robin Smith, trauma and relationship coach. And today I want to talk about the pattern of being really hard on yourself. And so we'll look at why you might have this going on in your life and also why it's problematic and how it shows up in your relationships and what you can do about it. So, why might you have a strong inner critic that says things to you like you're not good enough, or you're a failure, or you're never going to succeed, or nobody loves you, or there's something wrong with you? You can put a me in the comment if that's familiar to you. And you're certainly not alone. Many of my clients have this inner voice that's just so harsh. And I remember for myself, when I first discovered mine, I was in my 40s. It took me that long to really start to listen to that voice that, like, wow, I'm really hard on myself. I'm really mean to myself. And so often we wouldn't be that mean to anybody else but ourselves. So it's really a curiosity why we do this, right? Why would we be so hard on ourselves when we can be so much nicer to other people? So part of this can come from early childhood trauma. And I was talking with a client earlier where they didn't have critical parents, but it certainly could come from having critical parents or caregivers. And then you internalize that critic, and then you decide, I need to criticize myself, even if they're not doing it, because that's how I'll grow, or that's how I'll be a better person. And when I'm a better person, then I'm lovable. And then I get to keep the relationship. So that might be one way you might sort of turn into or create a strong inner critic for yourself because you've learned it from your environment. You may also see your caregivers being really hard on themselves, and that shows you that you should do the same thing. But even if you didn't have critical caregivers, what you could also have is just some kind of break in the attachment relationship or some type of early trauma, even an event that happens where you can't make sense of it as a young person. And what young people do is they'll make it their fault. So say your father leaves, or somebody dies, or somebody's hurting somebody, or your sister's in the hospital and your parents have to leave a lot. You might decide, well, it's because of me, it's my fault, I'm bad. And so you're basically shaming yourself at that point. Because that's what children do. They don't decide to do that consciously. It's just our human nature to do that. And it's a way of protecting your attachment relationship with your caregivers. I'm not going to go into all the details of that here, but just understand that it's a normal pattern for a child to adopt that kind of inner voice as a way to protect themselves from having to feel like the environment is going to fail me and I'll be all alone. So it's easier to feel like I'm the bad person than everyone else is bad, or I'm going to be alone. So then what happens is you might keep that pattern going into your adult life and relationships. I talked to a client recently who has a strong perfectionist tendency where she feels like if she doesn't do it right, or if she makes any mistakes, then there's something wrong with her, or she's not good enough. Put a me too in the comment if you can relate to that perfectionistic tendency. That's another form of this critic. And so it's really hard to get out from under that because it can be instilled so strongly, and there can be a real solid belief supporting that says, I'm really not good enough, and I really do have to do all these things to be good enough. I have to try harder. I have to make more money. I have to be prettier. I have to be more nice in order for people to love me and not leave me. So it may be even a strategy to not get abandoned. There's many ways, and it's complicated for each person. It might be different. There's many ways this can look, but the gist that I want you to come away with is that, one, you might have a really harsh inner critic, and to start noticing that is helpful, even though it doesn't feel very good. It's better to notice the pattern than to let it keep going. And then two, to understand that it could come from a variety of places, and only by working with someone more specifically or doing your own inner work can you start to discover where that's from, why you might have that going on. But three, let's look at what's going to help to heal it. First is that awareness piece of understanding that it's happening and really seeing that you're really hard on yourself. And then two is going to be to start giving yourself some compassion. some compassion, just like you would offer to someone else who's not perfect or who makes mistakes sometimes or whose relationship didn't work out. You wouldn't judge them harshly or throw them under the bus. You would be understanding if they were someone you cared for. So we want to start learning how to do that for ourselves. I can tell all of this to you, and it sounds simple, but it may not be easy because these parts can be really strong inside of us. So that's where working with someone more on an individual basis and getting someone who can really help you see the pattern is really quite supportive. But hopefully that's been helpful, at least as a start, to start looking at these strong voices you might have inside of you, and then looking at how you can shift towards more self-understanding and more self-compassion. And if you are interested in getting more support in this, I encourage you to start with my checklist if you haven't seen that yet, my �CONNECTION communication checklist, where I do offer several tips on healthy communication and how to work with that with somebody else. And then also from there, if you want my deeper support, feel free to grab a time on my calendar for a relationship breakthrough session, and we can look at how I might be able to support you further with patterns like this. Thanks so much for watching. I am glad you're here, and please like and subscribe if you are appreciating my channel so more people can find it. Feel free to put in a comment if you do have a question or you just want to resonate with what I've said. It also helps other people find the channel and helps us connect. So I'm happy to respond to you if you do have a question. And thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon. Take care.